his personal popularity had risen very high because of exactly what I told you, of the very strong early actions against corruption and crime. Now that has, as I told you, changed in the last 5 years, and you can see from the opinion polls by many national organizations and many national publications and media houses that although he still has a lot of goodwill, his popularity level today is far lower than what it used to be in earlier years. So there is a degree of vulnerability there. One of the other things which lends this aura of invincibility is that the BJD has very successfully played the Congress and BJP against each other, convincing both that they should not go hammer and tongs against the BJD because it will help the other national party. So that aura is, I think it's a brilliant act of smoke and mirrors, but somebody has to have the guts to expose that. I think a year ago it had been conventional wisdom that the NDA was definitely getting a second term. But today that conventional wisdom has changed after the state elections, and I think it is correct to say that the election is open. It will be a contest. On the one hand, the Congress seems to be much more energetic today. On the other hand, you have several regional parties getting very active and in fact trying to work in cooperation with each other. These will all be major factors, and there is no way that NDA coming back can be taken for granted. But at the same time, nobody should write off the NDA and Prime Minister Modi, because he is perhaps the most gifted communicator in a generation in our politics, certainly since Vajpayee ji. Now, I think with 4 to 5 months left before the elections, the game is wide open. It depends on whether it is Prime Minister Modi or his opponents who are better able to utilize the time ahead, and that will be the deciding factor in the elections. I'm willing to join hands with anybody that is serious about not just talking but bringing about real change in Odisha, and if the major national parties don't have the stomach for that fight, then there are plenty of outraged political leaders in Odisha and youth support for bringing about this change that can happen locally in Odisha.
So are you talking about forming a different party?
So that is one of the options. In fact, if you monitor Odisha media, you will see that many leaders and many members of the public have been urging me to be involved in the founding of a new party. This is not something to be done lightly. It's a very tough course to follow, but it is one of the options that is being considered. The Congress has been having setback after setback. Not just the 2014 elections, but right after the 2009 elections, they started getting mired in controversies and scams. They lost the elections, and from 2014 onwards, they had many other setbacks, losing state after state after state. And Rahul Gandhi had become the butt of jokes and memes, but to persist, to have the stomach to keep striving and to come out punching, you have to give him credit for sheer guts and sheer perseverance. When you had by-elections to 1 or 2 seats, then such Gathbandhans could happen, and in fact they showed that they are effective. But when you had state level elections, it was very difficult for several parties to come together because there are multiple seats, not just 1 or 2 seats. So when you have national level elections, it becomes much more difficult, because we are not just talking about 1 or 2 seats here, 1 or 2 states there, but many hundreds of seats across many states all across the country. It's not easy, but if they can come together, the arithmetic is fairly compelling. I think it will have a very important effect in the elections.